Okay, kaabo mantis, how to replace the bearing. So you're gonna have two different size bearings. First things first. So the side that the motor wire goes through has a larger center. But the other side, slightly smaller. And you can see here, this is the bearing side for the side that's slightly smaller. And then for the side that's slightly bigger, the bearing size is this number here. You can see that it's a 6003 2RS, and then the other one is a 6002 2RS. So 6003 2RS, 6002 2RS. Okay, so how you get the bearing out? First, if you watch my other videos, you'll see how you pull the motor out. This is already a new bearing. The old bearing looks like this. And you can hear it grinding. It grinds even louder when you're actually applying weight on the scooter. So this is new already, but all you gotta do is take the center hub out, and you can see my other video how to get that out. And then you just take a screwdriver. I don't like banging on my screwdrivers. I made this. You just put it here, turn the motor up, and you can just bang on that with a hammer. It'll come right out. But the hard part is how you get this one out, right? It's already out. But the way you get it out, make it easy. You don't need to lodge it on like two surfaces like this to where you can hammer it out. All you have to do is just place it on there. You can screw one in to stabilize it if you want, but you don't need to. Just put it on there and bang, bang, bang. It'll come out and magnetize itself to the motor. Okay, now let's look at some size differences in the bearing. Right, I don't know if you can see it on video very well, but this is the 603 2RS. This is the 602 2RS. So this one's on the left, and on the right is that one. And the reason for that is, if you look at the stator, this side is slightly larger here than this. So the wire won't actually go through that. Okay, so before you hammer this on, I suggest you do a little test run with your bearing, because at least you can return it, because when you get it out, of course they require hammering and damaging it. So run a little test run, see if it fits. You can see that mine does, just like that. So you'll know that you can fit it onto the bearing. You can do the other side too with the smaller one. Just put it on, you can see it fits. No, not a lot of wiggling or anything. Okay, now you notice my motor is painted. This is with insulating varnish, electrical insulating varnish. I do this to all my motors so that they don't rust. But my bearing rusted. I do have another fix for that. It's just not something that I fully can recommend. I usually use like some type of grease. I like put an extra bit of grease on the outside of the seal, which is, there's a little rubber seal right there. This, and I just like apply a thin layer of grease here to just seal out any liquids. Now, as much as I would like to put it here, I think that the grease would melt when the motor got hot and then go inside of the motor. I don't think it would damage it, but still. Okay, so how do you put this back on? This side doesn't even unscrew on my motor, but you do have to remember the direction if they both do unscrew on yours. I left my tire on, so it kind of tells me the direction, and I remember which side the wire's on. So if the tire arrow goes this way, then that means the tire goes on like this to the scooter, and the wire would come out of here like this. So that's what kind of told me. You got to figure out your own way. Just remember how you got it out. But how to get it back on is the easiest part. I should be concerned about my paint, but it's not that bad. It'll scratch it a little bit because I'm doing it with one hand. And that's it. The magnets, just suck it right up and watch your fingers, because it's gonna hurt. Alright, so how to put it back on. Basically, just set it in there, make sure it's nice and evenly flushed. And this is a 1 millimeter socket. 1 inch. I don't know what it's measured in. It's normally measured in millimeters, yeah. But so I guess this is a 1 inch socket, and it's the perfect size. You want to get it the perfect size of the outer bearing, or you should. What the best things for this is like a piece of wood, because a piece of wood can just lay flat like that. I have a piece of wood. I'm not gonna get it because I found it kind of something that worked for me, which was just an old bike peg, and it has like a larger outer surface so I won't miss, and it's like the perfect size. So I'm just gonna bang on this, and then I'll be back. 1 second. I'm doing this all with one hand. I'm not a YouTuber, just trying to spread information. Okay, after banging on it, bearing's nice and flush. The easy part. Now you just put it back together and you're done. That's it. That's how you change the bearing on a Kaabo Mantis, and I'm sure that it's the same on every scooter. And I don't know, just for reference, the bearings have numbers on it. That's how I found out the number. Just read the little number on it, put it on Amazon. That's it.